cool. I remember having an experience with the library. Um, I remember in the past, once in a while, renting some stuff from the library. You know, that's one of the things I think will be missed. Like the further digital and streaming gets more and more common, I'm just gonna miss that stuff. Like going into a store, whether it's video games or anything like that. It's a much more fun experience to me. Especially with video games. I much prefer going into a store because you know what you're getting and you can browse the selection. I think that's a lot better than like looking for something online to buy because you don't really have a rough idea of what to look for. Whereas a game store, you can look at everything they have and just I don't know, the experience is nice. Same thing goes for movies and stuff. That's why it's a shame Blockbuster's gone because I remember that was like a huge thing as well.
Yeah, I've just got Zelda 2 on, folks. Got the Gato over there. And I'm just trying to kind of think about what I'm going to do across the rest of the day and stuff. So basically, this morning commute that kind of reminds me of what Link does, which just happens to be a thing just with him traveling and getting errands done and that sort of stuff. Kind of reminds me of my commute as far as like going to places like McDonald's and the library, which I have gone to the library. I'm getting ready to pick up. It's at the other house, Prince of Persia. So that's based upon the video game. So I'm going to mess with that and probably do a movie commentary on it that'll go up on my gaming channel, which you should definitely check out if you haven't. I recommend it. Maybe I'll probably put a link in the bio just for extra people who are lazy. But so yeah, I'm gonna mess with Prince of Persia, and JGK and I were kind of talking about the library a bit, but we were also talking about like gaming stores as to how it's becoming more difficult to kind of be able to purchase games just because everyone would just prefer to do it digitally, which is true. I mean, that's the thing. I do feel like it's getting more difficult. They don't really make guidebooks just because you can find it on the internet, so there's just not a lot of merchandise. I mean, there's like a couple of stores, but I just feel like if you want like a Mario coin box or something like the one I used to mess with on Acidic Roots, that actually costs like $40. So I mean, obviously the gaming merchandise is pretty expensive, so they're charging you an arm and a leg for that sort of stuff, and there's just not too many other reasons to go to a gaming store anymore beyond like the merchandise or just the game itself, which you can basically just get off Amazon now for cheap. But I don't really like messing with Amazon either, just because if the game doesn't work, you actually have to pay money to send it back to the seller to get another version of the game that works. So you're essentially getting gypped out of like $5 or $8 just to get a game. So this is easier to get it locally, and that's what I've always done. I mean, I tried it like several years ago just to get Super Nintendo games, but it just isn't worth it. Especially with those games being from like 1994 and 1996, it's like, 30 years ago, 27 years ago. So this kind of happens to be the thing. But yeah, I normally like Jackal Gold Kick. Besides Gary and Frenchie, is like only like one of the most recent people that I've talked about getting stuff from the library with, and this doesn't happen too frequently. I just kind of feel like, I mean, it sounds like a poor man's like marketplace, the library, just because you have to wait like 3 or 4 weeks to get the album or movie that you want, when you can just go to a store and buy it for $5. But I still like the process of doing it. And there's something else I was gonna say here, like Cobalt. I mean, he doesn't frequent the library. I think he probably did like 6 or 7 years ago before Acidic Roots, but he really, I mean, everything that Cobalt does just involves the computer. That's like his central form of entertainment, is his desktop computer. But yeah, I mean, I do at least have some other methods. I haven't really been messing with music from the library in a while, but I still occasionally, like, I got the new MGK CD there. I'm just trying to think of what else there really is. But it just feels good to kind of frequent that, because most of the time the library is not a typical place that you chat with your friends about, which is just kind of the thing. But that's kind of where it goes. I mean, it'd be neat to go there and just kind of sip a coffee or something, but then I don't really drink coffee, but you know, if they sold Red Bull there, I would definitely do that. So this is kind of the thing, but yeah, just enjoy some Zelda music. I'm probably about to go mess with this a little bit more, get pissed off at the enemies, and then, you know, eventually mess with Prince of Persia.